Welcome, weary traveler, to a journey through time, a gentle descent into the quiet whispers of history. Tonight, we will drift back, not to the clamor of the everyday, but to the hushed moments of a day long past, a day unlike any other. Close your eyes if you wish, or let your gaze soften as we approach the sun-drenched shores of ancient Italy. Imagine, for a moment, the year 79 AD. The air, warm and fragrant with the scent of olives and sea salt, gently stirs the leaves of cypress trees. Above, the sky stretches, a canvas of pale blue, promising another perfect summer's day. We are here in the heart of Campania, at the foot of a mountain that has slept for centuries. Its name, Vesuvius, a quiet guardian, etched against the morning light. In the city below, Pompeii awakens, not with a rush but with a gradual unfolding, like petals in the dawn. The first light spills into courtyards, painting the frescoes on villa walls with hues of amber and rose. A dog stretches, a silent yawn in the stillness. Somewhere, a baker begins to stoke his oven, the faintest scent of warm bread beginning to drift through the narrow streets. Children, still drowsy, turn in their beds, perhaps dreaming of games in the forum. Their parents stir, the quiet rustle of linen, the gentle murmur of morning greetings. Life here is a rhythm, a timeless dance between the sun and the sea. The sounds are soft, the distant bleating of a goat, the gentle splash of water from a fountain, the quiet sweep of a broom on cobblestones. No urgency, no haste, just the quiet hum of existence. Picture the mosaic floors, cool beneath bare feet, the delicate perfume of blooming oleander carried on the breeze, the quiet clink of pottery as breakfast is prepared, dates, fresh bread, perhaps a little wine. Merchants are slowly opening their shops, their voices low, anticipating the day's gentle commerce. In the public baths, the first bathers arrive, seeking warmth and camaraderie. The soft lapping of water, a soothing lullaby. There's a subtle beauty in this ordinary morning. Each breath, each quiet step, each shared glance is imbued with the unspoken poetry of life, lived simply. The world outside the city walls is vibrant too. Vineyards stretching towards the horizon, their grapes heavy with the promise of autumn. Fishermen on the Bay of Naples, their nets cast, waiting patiently for the sea's bounty. Everything is in its place, a comforting tableau. As the morning progresses, a faint shift begins, so subtle it might be mistaken for the gentle tremor of a passing cart, or the earth settling after a long night's rest. A very low, almost subliminal rumble deep beneath the ground. Not alarming, not yet. Perhaps a slight vibration, a shiver through the stone. A bird might take sudden flight, an inexplicable flutter of wings against the silent sky. Animals with their keen senses might feel it more profoundly. A horse might stamp its hoof. A dog might lift its head, its ears twitching, listening to something beyond human hearing. But for the people of Pompeii, life continues, undisturbed. They have felt these small tremors before. Vesuvius has always been a presence, a watchful giant, but never a threat. Not truly. The sun climbs higher, casting long, elegant shadows. The heat of midday encourages a gentle slowing. Many retreat indoors, seeking the cool respite of their homes. A siesta, a quiet conversation, a book unrolled. The sounds of the city soften further, becoming muted, indistinct. The air shimmers above the cobblestones, a quiet invitation to rest. Perhaps a poet is composing verses in a shaded garden, his quill scratching softly on parchment. Or a sculptor, his tools laid aside, gazes at his half-finished work, lost in contemplation. Time feels suspended, a perfect golden moment. The aroma of herbs, of baking, of the earth itself fills the air, a comforting embrace. As the afternoon begins to gently unfold, a subtle change appears on the eastern horizon. Not a storm cloud, not yet. more like a deepening of the sky, a strange, almost ethereal pillar of white, reaching upwards like a silent, slow-motion column of smoke. It rises from Vesuvius not angrily, but with a quiet, persistent determination. At first, it might be dismissed as a peculiar cloud formation, a trick of the light. People might point, curious but not alarmed. A whisper might pass through the marketplace. Look at Vesuvius today, but the whispers are still soft, tinted with wonder, not fear. The column grows, a silent, monumental presence, a plume against the vibrant blue. And then, the first particles begin to fall. Not a torrent, not a shower. More like a fine, almost invisible dust, settling on rooftops, on the leaves of trees, on the shoulders of passers-by. Ash, light as powder, carried on the faintest breath of wind. It settles without sound, without force, like a soft gray snowfall on a summer's day. People might brush it from their clothes, a mild inconvenience. A child might catch a flake on their tongue, wondering at its curious texture. It is a strange phenomenon, certainly, but still, no alarm. The light begins to dim, not drastically, but with a subtle, diffused quality, as if the sun has veiled itself behind a sheer curtain. The world begins to take on a monochrome palette, softened and hushed. The light continues to fade, and the falling ash becomes a little more noticeable, a gentle patter, like soft rain on a distant roof. A quiet realization begins to spread. Perhaps it is time to seek shelter, to close the windows, to bring the animals indoors. There is no panic, no frantic rush, just a calm, measured turning away from the peculiar phenomenon. Families gather, their voices low and reassuring. The sounds of the city, which had softened for the afternoon lull, now become even more muted, absorbed by the deepening layer of ash. The world outside is transforming, slowly, silently, under the falling gray. The air, once so clear, now has a faint, earthy scent, like dry stone or distant fire. The sky darkens further, taking on an eerie twilight glow, even though it is still afternoon. The ash now falls more steadily, a continuous, soft curtain, descending upon the city. The beautiful colors of Pompeii, the vibrant reds and yellows, the verdant greens, are slowly being veiled, becoming muted, hushed. The air becomes thick, a little harder to breathe, but still, the panic is not widespread. Many remain in their homes, believing this strange, persistent ashfall will pass. The world outside their windows is being transformed, inch by gentle inch, buried under a silent, gray blanket. The sounds of human life retreat, replaced by the soft, steady whisper of the falling ash. It is a lullaby of dust, a quiet farewell, and then a gradual, profound silence descends. The world is hushed. The sounds of the falling ash become the only music, a soft, hypnotic rhythm. The weight of the ash, light as it is, begins to accumulate, gently settling, forming a tender embrace around everything it touches. Buildings, trees, the very streets are being cradled in this soft, final shroud. Those who remained indoors, perhaps asleep or simply waiting, felt the gentle pressure, the deepening quiet. The air grew still, the light dimming to a final, almost comforting darkness. It was not a violent end, not for most. It was a slow, quiet surrender, a gentle drifting into an eternal slumber. The world of Pompeii, vibrant and alive just hours before, now rested, held within the quiet embrace of the earth. And so Pompeii slept, buried not in wrath, but in a profound, silent stillness. For centuries, it lay beneath the earth, a forgotten whisper of a vibrant past. Until, one day, it began to speak again, not with clamor, but with the quiet dignity of a memory preserved. As you drift towards your own rest tonight, consider the quiet beauty of that final day. not of destruction, but of a world gently lulled to sleep. May your dreams be as soft, as peaceful, and as timeless as the slumber of Pompeii. Rest now and dream deeply.